everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm pleased to announce that the Prime Weld CT520D welder has arrived, and today's video I'm going to give a little introduction on to this welder. The purpose of today's video isn't to teach a person how to TIG weld or use a plasma cutter or stick weld. It's more to introduce everybody to this welder. I want to give my impressions on it and see if it's suited for me and see if it's suited for your home garage. I'm sure there's a lot of other automotive enthusiasts out there that could use a little welder like this to get their jobs done. So without further ado, I'm just going to tell you guys straight out what I paid for this welder. So I bought this welder off eBay. The vendor's name is USA Weld and Fab. Big shout out to them. Shipping was fast. So I paid a total of, my wife could be watching, a total of $379 US plus $28 shipping and $25 import charges because we're in the Great White North, Canada. So $432 total. I believe that was all Canadian funds, so you can convert that to US dollars if you want. And this is the cheapest one I could find with what I wanted. I found the same welder on Amazon. I don't know if I'm allowed to say these big box. Anyways. Found the exact same one on Amazon for 1,200 bucks Canadian. So I don't know how the price difference works out, but double the price, more than double the price, it doesn't work for me. So we're gonna get in. I got a few projects lined up for today. When you're TIG welding, you have filler rod, and you don't need this lying around making a mess of your workshop. So I'm going to cut up and weld some tubes and make holders for these that I can mount to my welding cart. I'm going to bring you guys around in a minute and show you the cart. I also have a flux core MIG on the same cart, and I'm going to be converting that to gas, so I need to do a modification to the cart to allow it to hold 2 bottles. So a little bit about myself is I'm not a welder by trade, so I'm learning along with you folks out there. I have TIG welded before because my place of work, I have got my hands on a TIG welder there. So I guess I could compare a little bit. I'm not a professional, so you're probably not going to see beautiful rainbow welds like you see on Instagram posted all over the place. But I'm the type of guy, I'm just trying to melt a couple pieces of metal together, make some brackets, weld some exhaust leaks, just get the job done. And I think this is going to be a fun little rundown. I'll try and give the pros and cons of what I think of this thing near the end of the video. Alright, so I'm going to kind of fast forward through this a little bit and show you the final product of my TIG Rod Holders. And then I'm going to introduce my next upcoming project and videos you're going to see on classic drivers. So this is the holders I made. So So this is the holders I made. And you just slide those in there. Of course, one-handed this isn't easy. And it keeps everything nice and neat. And I got my bottle from my MIG welder on there. I just need to get a regulator. That way I can, on this one welding setup, I can do TIG, plasma cut, stick weld, MIG weld. I like it. So I'm going to show you how I did all that. I might do a lot of time lapse because it's kind of boring. Alright, so I need to cap the ends of my tubes, and I took my angle grinder like a lot of people do to make a circle, and was cutting and cutting, and I was going to grind it into a perfect circle, and then I realized, why the hell am I using my angle grinder when I just bought a machine that has a plasma cutter? So let's set this thing up and see if she'll cut. Alright guys, so I got the machine hooked up. I got the plasma cutting torch on. One thing to note with this machine, it's not a pilot arc. What's a pilot arc? A pilot arc, as soon as you pull the trigger, it makes an arc and you're ready to cut. This is kind of like a scratch start TIG, and you have to get an arc created before you can start moving and cutting. Prime Weld makes a model above this one which has a pilot arc, but I mainly got this for the TIG welder. It was just a bonus to get a plasma cutter with it. So if you were wanting to do a plunge cut, you'd probably be better off drilling a hole so you could get an arc started without buggering up your tip. So I need to get some new gloves, by the way. So before I cut my circle out, I'm just going to try and cut a corner off or something and see what happens. The compressor's probably going to come on, so you won't be able to hear me. That really cuts like butter, like instantly, like tearing a piece of paper. I'm just going to take my tube and draw a circle. Alright, so I got my little coin cut out that I'm going to TIG weld onto the bottom of my pipe. Let's just go over and we'll get the welder switched over to the TIG mode. So right now we see we're on cut, so we're going to switch it to TIG, and we have to put the torch on. So to do that, you just unplug the plasma cutting tip or torch. This unit does have the option to put a pedal on, but I don't have a pedal. A pedal doesn't come with the machine. So if you have a pedal, you would normally hook it up here. And it's really as easy as that. I mean, I'm doing this one-handed. All right, so we're ready to TIG. I got everything set up. I don't, as you saw, I don't have a metal fabrication table or a steel table. Well, actually I do, but it's too far away from the welder and too heavy to move. So I just set this piece of stainless I have down. I set my little circle I cut out on here. So I set the little circle on here, and I got my settings. So I'm going to put the pipe on here. I have the clamp on the piece of metal, and I'm going to tack it. So I finished up the tubes, got them mounted on the machine. Let's go take a quick look at how it turned out. And for the next project I have, I need to convert my flux core MIG over to gas MIG, and I don't have enough room in my little garage for two separate carts. So I'm gonna modify this one here. So this bottle can sit over here on the back. All right, so off camera I came up with a little plan for the cart extension. So I cut this off shorter. I only need that much. I'm going to put the non-swivel wheels, I'm going to take those off and put the swivel wheels on. This plate, instead of being on there like that, I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to weld it on like that. So this will be in here, and then this is going to be there, and then this tab will go in the center of the bottle and help hold it. So I'll kind of have some ears here too, so things can't get shifting around. So let's get this up there and weld it together. So it's going to be kind of awkward a bit until I get this just tacked. I'm going to have to hold this, get it tacked, and head from there. Now you saw what happened there is I forgot to turn the gas on. So I'm going to go over and sharpen up my tungsten. And we're back. Let me, I'm not sure if I'll be able to weld with the camera in the way. We'll see. I'll see if I can get the camera to focus at all on what I just did. Not too bad. You can see I blew a hole there. As I said, not Instagram welds, but hey, I'm getting her done, I guess. Alright, so I got welded up. I got it mounted. I just bolted it on there. Threw some crappy paint on I had lying around with a dry brush. And let's mount the bottle on there. And the little modification's all mounted. I had these cheap ratchet straps from, I don't know, the dollar store or something. And she's much more solid on there now. So that's awesome. I can move it around, simple, one hand. There we go. She's parked, the welding ring is parked in her new home. And let's head over. I'm sure you saw behind me when I was talking and in the intro, this thing over here. This is Project Identity Crisis. Why is it called Identity Crisis? Because connoisseurs will notice that this is an LS, obviously, but I am going to make this look like a 350 small block Chev. Not that I don't like the look of an LS, but I'm going to be transferring my Phi-Tech throttle body over to this engine. And I had some valve covers for a 350 given to me by Phil. And I really like the look of a classic small block. And I would like to do this project budget in mind. And I'm going to try and fab up as much of this stuff as I can. So hopefully I can even make my own adapters for the valve covers. I picked these headers up already off of eBay. Again, dirt cheap. I really don't know how they can make something so cheap when it's made of stainless steel. I'm going to be going to V-band clamps. I got my hands on a bunch of free stainless 3-inch pipe through my work. Gotta give a shout out to my the president of the company over there. Thanks, Mike. So these headers didn't come with a collector, or there's a collector, sorry, but they didn't come with a mounting flange. So I will weld those onto there. I don't have a way of back purging, so I'm gonna have to do it without back purging. It won't be as nice of a weld, but I'm sure we'll get through it. And another thing I noticed, the valve cover had a dent up here, and it looked like the rocker from the inside had been hitting, and it's got a hole right through. So I'm going to take all that in, grind it down, and sand and paint these things, and yeah, so that's Project Identity Crisis. She doesn't know what she wants to be. Are you an LS engine or are you a small block? So if you guys are interested in seeing more of this build, I'll try and put a few videos out. I know the LS is starting to get old out there. Everybody's done it, but this is going to be my take on it. I think I got a few tricks up my sleeve to really try and make this thing be a carbon copy of a 350. So let's fix this stuff up. and I'll give you my pros and cons on this welder. Alright, so what are a couple pros and cons of this machine? Obviously, the first pro I'm going to have to say is the price. I mean, not very many units out there are pretty much ready to go right out of the box for less than $800, let alone $400. Con, the power cable. Here's my electric box, and I got a plug very close to it. It's really short, so if my projects are way over there, then and the welder is way over here, I can't work on them. So I'm gonna have to pony up a few bucks and make myself a good long extension, but it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's to be expected. One other thing I don't really care for is the mounting location for the air regulator for the plasma. The way this cart is set up with the bottle, look at it. It's getting battered in there, so I'm going to take it off and make a bracket somewhere out on the side. Again, not the end of the world. I mean, if the bottle, I could make if I only had one bottle on there, I could move it back and it would work out just fine. On this machine, when you first turn the machine on, it's in cut mode. So if you plan on turning the machine on, you got your TIG on there, your TIG torch on there, and you don't change it, and you start trying to TIG, you're probably not going to realize what the heck is going on. What else? I find the TIG torch is not ergonomic. It's plastic. It's very slippery. So I might spend some money and buy a better TIG torch. And there's no pedal on this machine. Now, I've used other machines without a pedal, fine. But I think this machine would benefit of having the control of the amperage through a pedal. But you know what? I got to try this machine on cutting thicker material and welding thicker material, and so far I really like it. I really think anybody that's doing a restoration that needs to cut floor pans out, body panels, cut off some 1/4 inch brackets to make something for their car, this really is probably a decent machine for you. I wouldn't go and start using this as an industrial machine. Maybe you'll end up burning it up, but you know what? It is fairly compact. It's light. You could bring it to a job site. I don't know. For the amount of money, you could buy 4 of these when you could only buy one name brand machine. So maybe it would be all right for an industrial use. Prime Weld, you've made a decent machine. So guys, go out and buy your own. I'll make more videos in the future. Keep going on with my reviews of it. If you guys want to see the way a beginner could learn how to TIG weld, I could do that as well. Let me know what you guys want to see for vids. Anyways, guys, I hope you like this vid. Like, share, subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one. Check you later.
Guess we'll see you around.
All right, check you later.
Bye.
Wait, man, why are you always such a dork, man?
What are you talking
Check
about?
you later. Check you later.
Hey, man, get off my case, man.